Today, USS Kidd, the Tier 8 American destroyer, known for its amazing anti-air suite and great main batteries, is being captained by the user DaddyDare in today's user replay. Starting this replay off, some details for this is we're on the map Northern Waters, and also quite nicely, the matchmaking is quite good as DaddyDare is basically middle tier, as this is a tier 9 game. He's in the Kidd, so it's overall just quite a good matchmaking here and shouldn't suffer too much. But the other thing you'll probably see from the lineup is there are carriers, meaning they are going to suffer because Kidd is known for having some pretty decent anti-air, as you will see very shortly. Now, with the build on screen at the moment, it's a standard destroyer build, really, and it's a 21-point commander. And for the upgrades as well, it's a pretty standard loadout too, but in the slot 2 it has gone for, well, you can currently see at the moment the anti-air real quick. You can see that's already taken these planes down, and within a few seconds there, that was 6 of them taken down. That was activating the anti-air consumable, but even so, that was just rather insane how quickly those got taken down. So there is the upgrade on the second point to improve that. But you will see a few more planes going down this game, and it's definitely going to be a no-fly zone whenever it is going near the Kidd. Now, we are going into the sea cap at the moment and should be seeing another destroyer over here possibly, since RPF is just pointing over to the left, and as well as that we have got carriers coming in. Yep, there we go, there is the Ostjotland, and yeah, already Kidd opening fire, but thankfully got some smoke here because quite a few planes coming over, so that was already the first carrier was coming over there, dropping some planes. Thankfully those do miss, but a few of those blind shots from the Ostjotland don't. But the Lexington already doesn't really know where DaddyDare is, so instead is opting for a different target. And was talking, when I was saying about the anti-air going, already that is 7 planes that have just been knocked out. Meaning, already within just a couple of minutes of the game starting, yeah, already in double digits of how many planes have been taken down, which really does show you the amount of damage and devastation the anti-air suite can really perform. The start of this game is a little bit slow, so we will just discuss some of the other things here really whilst we're getting into it. But yeah, at the moment the cap is being blocked by the Ostjotland, which is over there on the other side. You can see where they were last spotted on the map, and it is going to be like this for quite a while. I mean, at the start of the game, anyone who may have noticed already is someone got reported the second the game started. Someone got reported straight away, so I'm not entirely sure if that's someone on the enemy team or on the friendly team, but I'm guessing there must have been some sort of reason for that. Now, the Lexington is coming in over here, but it does appear that they are going for the Fiji instead, so whether they get into anti-air range, we won't know. But here's the Ostjotland has just been spotted, which is quite good by probably the Fiji, and has now forced the Ostjotland to get out of the cap, allowing DaddyDare to start capturing the point and give their team a bit of an advantage, because so far this game is starting off really slowly on all fronts, because no caps are being taken apart from the one that's being done now. Also, have a look at that, look at that, just the amount of damage that's being done there. Yeah, there we go, that's another one taken out, so that is already up to 15. So I think an AA expert may come into this game relatively easy, especially with the amount of planes in the air, and whilst that's been going on, the point is just being capped now. So now the friendly team is starting to earn some points without any real opposition from the enemy team, which is quite good, allowing DaddyDare to start moving around the map and relocate. And RPF is definitely quite useful in this ship because it means that you're going to be able to at least work out where some of the other destroyers are, because, I mean, you have got some destroyers which are primarily torpedo boats, where RPF is more of a defensive measure, but in the case of Kidd, it's definitely more of an offensive, because you can then start hunting down other destroyers. And there we go, absolutely shredded, because I think it was in the AA bubble of both the Tiapets, Fiji, as well as the Kidd. So they didn't last long, and that allowed another 2 planes to be shot down, and now it's just a fact of just manoeuvring around the map and going somewhere else, because there is quite a strong force over on the right side of the map on sea, holding the sea point, and it looks like the battleships are hit, but yeah, they are quite far behind at the moment, so you've got the FDR and the King George sitting pretty much at the back of the map, almost as far back as the enemy Implacable, which is, strangely enough, being targeted by the carrier. Okay, fair enough. But the A point is now starting to get taken, so it is definitely in the team's interest for the B cap to be taken, which is where DaddyDare is starting to head. Now, the amount of damage done so far isn't all that much, but one thing in games is damage certainly doesn't always mean everything. Because if you're able to provide the support in the right places, or you're able to take out targets with low HP, or even just in terms of capping, then that's going to be just ultimately far more useful than just getting a really high damage number but not really impacting the game too much, because that still isn't really going to stop you losing. But if you're getting strategic points or taking out targets which you know you can take out, then it's definitely better doing that. Now, there isn't anything really in B at the moment. The other destroyers, well, the Ostjordland is accounted for, and then the other destroyer, which I'm not entirely sure what that was, but they haven't been spotted yet, but I'm going to assume that is on the A point, considering that's where RPF is pointing, and it doesn't seem to be where that Minnesota is. It's quite far to the right, so it's probably by the Roma or coming around somewhere around there. Now, John Bart, Black over there just behind the island, but yeah, really at the moment no opposition. It is just a fact of we are going to be watching the points getting capped until there are some actual engagements here, which there are, as you've probably seen from the title of the video. He does get a Kraken, so things definitely do heat up, but again, it is quite slow. Now, the Roma is getting kind of mashed here because the Kitakaze is just unloading. The Indianapolis is in a pretty good spot there, but they don't appear to be firing at all, which is quite odd there. But yeah, the Kitakaze is still doing a good amount of work. The Shikaku's coming in. And that's one thing with Roma, is it's definitely quite vulnerable to AP bombs. And I'm not even going to ask what just went on there. I think I found out where the... Right, okay, I found out where the report must have gone at the start of the game. I don't know whether those two don't like each other. I mean, I'll have to ask for clarification after watching this replay, but yeah, okay, we'll just ignore that. I'm not entirely sure why they just did that, but it does look like the Indianapolis has just resumed and is back, as well as that the Roma has been severely wounded and is going for basically a suicide rush, because you can see everyone on this side of the map, because they've already got really good map control with both the B and C caps are both taken. And all that really needs to be done at this point is just the Colorado, Lepanto, and as well as the Indianapolis. They are just kiting, because they have no real need to push that side of the map. And the Roma is just really coming into this... I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, sure, why? It's just really committing suicide here, which doesn't make too much sense. And also the anti-air is going again, and he has just activated his consumable to start getting a bit more damage off, and that is certainly doing some damage, as he's already gotten 20 planes. Now, whilst in the smoke, it is just now, okay, try and get some damage on this Roma, as he may as well. I mean, he's got 2 minutes of smoke here, and wow, it looks like the Colorado or Lepanto just took a massive shot at... Ooh, okay, nice. Yep, thankfully that fire did manage to get the first kill of the game. But it wasn't too much damage, as that is a 4,000 damage kill. Well, I mean, it wasn't even that, it was probably about a 2,000 damage kill, but still very good that they've managed to knock out the Roma. However, it was at the cost of the Indianapolis, which is quite a shame, because the Indianapolis would have been quite good being in the smoke and providing information in terms of radar. Now, spotted, there we go. Kagero is in a pretty bad spot here. So opening up, the Kagero must be launching torpedoes at this point, because they're not firing, and they're aiming at him, so I'm assuming those are definitely torpedoes coming over, and only now is returning fire, so definitely needs to be careful there. But whilst they have been firing their torpedoes, you can see the Kagero's HP has been utterly ruined, as they're already on 3,000 HP. Make that a 300 HP, and that should be the kill confirmed. Wonderful, that is the second kill already. And now that is pretty much this side of the map completely safe. The only thing now is to knock out the Ostjordland, which is on the other side of the map. And the friendly battleships are in quite a bad place for that, as they are fast torpedoes and they are the most effective against battleships, for the fact of they're going to be able to, you know, if you've got a small target, say a cruiser or a destroyer, they are going to be able to avoid those torpedoes easier. So battleships being in that close proximity is definitely quite a worrying prospect for the team. But moving on to where we are at the moment, it's just some torpedoes have been launched against the Minnesota. That is the one thing, there is only the sort of single launch here, but you may as well use them whilst you've got the opportunity, and the Minnesota is going pretty much straight on there, which is... Oh, okay, yep, the RPF has just shifted over there. So I think that was just taking into account where Minnesota was. But yeah, you can see those going in, and it's almost certain that some of those are certainly going to hit their target. As well as that, the Azuma, which is capturing the Bravo points, yep, just got knocked out there. They did only have 2,000 HP and must have had a fire set from the Alsace. And the Ostjylland is moving into Bravo as well by the looks of it too, from where they were last spotted, so that could still be flipped. But in terms of points, the friendly team is still at a fairly good advantage here because they managed to generate quite a lot of them before the enemy could do anything, even though there is a bit of a ship deficit, being a extra cruiser that's been lost on the friendly team. Now at this point, it's a fact of probably getting to a smoke here. I mean, or at least that's what I do, but then again, the amount of HP that the Minnesota has got, it's probably no need to at the moment because, oh yeah, okay, just be knocked down to 1k, so yeah, that's entirely fair enough. But the Minnesota is using a repair party here, which is mitigating the effects of the shell, so definitely quite good with the angle that DaddyDare is taking here, just to make sure to brush off any shells that are coming in from what looks to be the Ostjylland because of the rate of fire coming in there. But yeah, that's not enough to save their Minnesota, as yeah, 1,500, that repair party is going to be running out in a second, and is no sort of better for it. Yeah, there we go, 300 HP, and that is the third kill secured, already on 40,000 HP. Now, the Jean Bart and the Ostjylland are both in the Bravo cab, so that is somewhat worrying for map control. But yeah, there we go, we've got some torpedoes coming in, but they are quite fast and they have gone a little bit too far. Now the Jean Bart has only got 24,000 HP here as well, which is quite good if the Tabit or Lepanto are able to get some shots on them. And then the Ostjylland is more of a torpedo boat than a gunboat, so this is going to be a very easy engagement to win. And plus, the amount of HP the Ostjylland has got, regardless of whether they have a heal or not, they are going to be in trouble. Now, planes are coming in for the Tirpitz, and you can see those anti-air guns were just popping off then, but didn't manage to get any plane kills, which is a shame. But then continues to engage the Ostjylland, who decided to open fire. But yeah, this is not an engagement the Ostjylland is winning. Yeah, 100 HP left, and there we go. That is the fourth kill, and all destroyers taken out. There is still the problem of having the carries on the enemy team, but now at least the battleships don't have to worry about constantly manoeuvring, changing their course and speed to at least try their best to dodge torpedoes. Now, whilst that's been happening, he has popped a smoke over here, meaning because of how close the Jean Bart is to the friendly, so the Lepanto and the Tirpitz, that means that the Jean Bart is permanently spotted here, allowing DaddyDare to just keep on mowing this guy down and hopefully get some fires and overall just knock him out, because still they haven't managed to capture the Bravo point, which is really good for the team, so they are going to maintain their map superiority. Now, going behind the island here, 3,000 HP, there is no way in hell they're going to survive torpedoes coming in as well as a fire without a repair. Yeah, they're basically out. There we go. Shikaku manages to get a single torpedo hit, and that is it. So at the moment the team is definitely in good stead to win because they've got 2 points, and now the amount of ships is also quite good as well, because when you don't have a destroyer and the other team has a destroyer, there's a good chance the one with a destroyer is going to win, because I mean, the enemies do have the carries to spot the destroyer, but I mean, as a general rule of thumb, it is going to be easy for a destroyer to sort of target the larger targets on the enemy team. Now, both carriers are going, oddly enough, with rocket planes. This is pre-rocket nerf, where they just go in and fire. They have both decided to attack the Tirpitz with their rocket planes and seem to have pretty minimal effect there, but you can see the AA is now starting to pop off and damage the ships, doing a good amount, but it looks like the Tirpitz managed to get the kills rather than the Kid. Now, the FDR is currently engaging the Tirpitz, which is a bit worrying because of how low the HP the Tirpitz has and how much the FDG does have, but this is probably where DaddyDare is going to be providing a bit of additional support here just for extra damage, just to help really keep the Tirpitz alive and knock out the FDG. But as you can see, we have got torpedo bombers coming in as well as just normal bombers. Yeah, I'm not liking the Tirpitz's chances here because that is a lot they need to knock out, and even with the anti-air of the Kid, there is no way everything is going to be knocked out of the sky. So yeah, there we go. Torpedo bombers are coming in for a run. There you go, they've dropped the torpedoes, and the bombers are also coming in as well. So the days of the turrets are numbered. Yeah, there we go. Lexington managed to get the drop. However, one thing that is good is before they died, did manage to knock out the FDG's HP a severe amount, meaning, as you can currently see, torpedoes coming in, shells are coming in. That is a kill, and that is the Kraken Unleashed achievement. There, perfect. So, at this point, it's definitely quite good because now both of those caps have been secured, and it's just a fact of, right, make sure nothing can get into them. And from the looks of it, there is the Zara, which is, oddly enough, engaging the Graf Zeppelin, because the Graf Zeppelin is very far away from pretty much any support. So, I don't really think the Graf Zeppelin is going to be lasting too long against the Zara, but in terms of doing anything where they are in the map, okay, evidently I forgot about that because the Graf Zeppelin just managed to knock out the Zara. Yeah, that's basically game. Both of these caps have just been, well, both of the caps are still in friendly control. The King George has just been knocked out by the Shikaku, and the only thing left is the enemy carriers, who are taking on the very difficult task of knocking out a kid. As you can see, the amount of damage that's being done here, that's another plane here, and one more, and they're already going to be on 30. So at the moment, they are just 6 off getting the AA Expert. Yeah, there we go, 5 off getting the AA Expert, which is, yeah, and you can see in chat, luckily, they had the kid to bail you guys out. Yeah, definitely. So this is what I'm trying to say is, it's not all about damage, it's about what you do, because a lot of that was knocking out those destroyers, and taking out those destroyers has definitely helped the team maintain good map control, and then just the overall support for everything else in terms of AA, and then providing additional damage. Now, I can see why DaddyDare is going towards over here where the carrier is, because RPF is really helping here, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, well, where are these carriers? Because they were last spotted over in I4 and well, either I or J5, but even so, it's like, okay, where are they? And I can understand why you'd want to go towards them, because you are going to want to try and get some more plane kills, but the Implacable is having none of it and is staying far away. At Lexington, however, they have decided that they want to come on in and see if they can get some strikes off, and it looks like they will be able to, and they do manage to get a strike there. But again, I can still see why you'd want to be trying to get that, because you just need 4 more, and then you have got another heroic achievement. Now the rocket planes are going off, and it looks like they've gone back to the carrier, and already with only 59 seconds left, somehow has to get 3 more planes, but it is definitely a win at this point, which is really good to see. Now, Lexington coming over with some dive bombers, and I'm not entirely sure what's coming over from the Implacable, but we should see that shortly. Yeah, those are coming over now, 7 kilometers left. Okay, they're coming with rocket planes from the looks of that. Yeah, there we go. So, hopefully we can get this. Only 28 seconds and needs to get these planes down. They are already smoking, taking some flak damage. That's 1. One of them's looking quite black there. That's 2. That's 3, and that is the AA Defense Expert achievement, or heroic achievement. Granted, with 10 seconds till till they win, that is pretty much game. So here we are on the end screen, and that is definitely looking quite good. Evidently, there are some economic signals on there, because 908,000 credits there, which is great. 12,600 experience, and then some free experience, which is good. The heroic achievements, the AA Defense Expert, and Kraken Unleashed, definitely really, really good to see. Now, in terms of damage, 75k, definitely still quite good, considering the performance there and what was knocked out there too. A good amount of target hits, a couple of, yeah, well, in both the guns and torpedoes. There's the aircraft shot down, and overall just looks really quite good. Now, it'll be no surprise when we move over to the team score. Yeah, top of the team by a long shot. Literally 50% more base XP than the guy below him in the turrets. So overall, that was certainly a carry of the game. Now, that's really it. So thank you very much for submitting that. That was pretty great to watch, and overall a wonderful performance there. That was really spectacular. So good to see, and just shows you that some people, or at least depending on the class you are, it is that destroyers, and especially good destroyer players, can really turn the tide of a game, because a lot of the plays that were made in this game certainly impacted the end result in terms of just taking out strategic targets. But with all that said, that does bring us to the end of the video, so if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, so I'll see you in the next one.